Today I'm going to demo the Gracey 1112 area-specific curette that's used for posterior mesial surfaces. Gracey's are area-specific curettes, meaning that they're adapted to specific areas of the dentition. They also have paired mirror image working ends, so this one's the exact mirror image of that, with one blade at each end. They have an offset 70-degree terminal shank to blade angle that makes it easy to engage calculus for removal with a pull motion. As you know, the Gracey 1112 is engaged when the terminal shank is parallel with the long axis of the tooth. When scaling the maxillary arch, use a push-pull motion, and lateral pressure is applied on the pull motion to remove calculus. With the mandibular arch, you're going to be using a wrist rock motion, and lateral pressure is applied on the rock to remove calculus. Gracey's have one cutting edge, so it's important to determine the proper working end. This can be done two ways. First, by identifying the plus that's located on the instrument, and you know that the side that has the plus is also the side that has the blade, and that should be what is against the tooth surface when scaling. Or, what I prefer to do is insert the instrument interproximally, and the correct working edge is such that the terminal shank is parallel to the long axis of the tooth. So we know that for posterior mesials, this is the proper working end of the Gracey 1112. Now, if I tried to use the other end, I know that this is the wrong end because the terminal shank crosses the tooth. So this is the wrong working end. Once you find the proper working end, it's important to insert the instrument into the sulcus at a closed or 0-degree angle. As long as it's less than 10 degrees, you know that you're not engaged. The Gracey 1112 is inserted at the mesiobuccal or mesiolingual line angle, depending on where you're scaling. You're going to activate the 1112 by making sure the terminal shank is parallel to the long axis of the tooth. So it's inserted, once you find the right end, it's inserted at the mesiobuccal, since I'm in area 1 right now, line angle. And to engage, you're going to make sure that the terminal shank is parallel to the tooth. Once you've activated the 1112 by making sure the terminal shank is parallel to the long axis of the tooth, you're going to use short 1 to 2 millimeter push-pull movements as you walk into the mesial surface. And then remember to activate the blade on the pull motion only. This ensures that the hard and soft deposits are removed from the sulcus as opposed to pushed into the sulcus. So I'm going to show you how to do the 1112 in area 1. So the clinician should be seated at 7 o'clock with the patient looking slightly away. First, we need to find the correct working end. So again, you can either look for the plus, which would mean that this end is against the tooth surface, or what I like to do is just insert it and see. So I know that this is the correct working end because this is parallel to the long axis of the tooth. And then just to show you, this would be the wrong working end because the terminal shank is crossing the tooth and we want it to be parallel. So I'm going to insert the instrument at the mesiobuccal line angle into the sulcus, and I'm going to do short push pull as I walk into the mesial. And again, you're going to use short push pull, and I'm engaging as I pull, so that's when I'm applying my lateral pressure. And you can do short push pulls to come out the sulcus too. And if you're going, if you're out of the sulcus, you want to do nice short movements as well, all the way in as deep as you can into the mesial, so that when you come on the lingual surface and do the same thing, you're ensuring that you get the entire mesial surface. And again, you're going to walk out. So mesiobuccal line angle, short push pull in, as deep as I can into the mesial, and short push pull out, and short push pull. And you can tell that the blade's activated because you can hear it. All right, for area 6, you're going to do the same thing. Find the correct working end. And just note that if I were actually with a real patient, they would be a little bit lower. So the angling is a little bit awkward for me, but that's okay. So this is the wrong working end because the terminal shank is crossing the tooth. This is the proper working end. So we're going to go the mesial lingual line angle, small push pull, and walk into the mesial and get as far into the mesial as we possibly can, and then walk out again. And that's how you use your Gracey 1112 area specific curette.